Alright, today we're going to be cooking up some Thai pineapple fried rice. We're going to start off with our white jasmine rice. So the proportions for cooking this rice are going to be 1 cup to 1 1/4 cup water. I did 2 cups here and 2 1/2 cups water. So we're going to start by putting our rice and water into a pot. We're going to bring that to a rolling simmer. Once it hits a simmer, you can throw the lid on and put it on low. And you're going to let it sit on low for about 12 minutes. And then you're going to pull it off the heat while leaving the lid on and let it sit for another 5 minutes or so. After that rest time, we're going to pull the lid off and fluff our rice. Now for fried rice, you typically want to use day-old or leftover rice. So right here I'm spreading out my freshly cooked rice onto a sheet pan and I'm going to throw it in the fridge overnight. Now if you want to put a fun twist on it and serve it in a pineapple yourself, you can grab a fresh one at the market, and then I started by splitting it in half. Then I'm going to take my knife around the inside edges of the pineapple, cut all the way around. And then I'm going to do crisscrossing lines all throughout the inside. So I'm going to start with my lines right along that core, and then I'm going to go across and get our chunks. After that, I go around with my knife again just to make it easier while you're scooping it out. This is my first time doing this, so it didn't go quite as planned, but we did get everything out of there. Once I got it out of the pineapple, I chopped the pieces up into smaller chunks to be thrown into the fried rice. If you buy it straight from the store and the pieces are big, you can do the same. Now we're going to move on to the rest of our ingredients for our fried rice. We have 1 red bell pepper, a half a white onion, and a stalk of green onions. So we're going to start by chopping off the lower bits of the green onion. This is going to actually go into our stir fry. And then we're going to take the top of the green onion and chop that up for garnish. Next up, we have our red bell pepper. We're going to start off by slicing off all 4 sides, taking each one and slicing it pretty thin because we want these pieces to be small in the end. So I'm slicing it lengthwise all the way. And we're doing the same the other way for some nice diced pieces. For a stir-fry dish like this, I like to prepare all of my ingredients first and put them in little bowls to make it easier while you're cooking, because the cooking process does happen quickly. Next, we're taking a white onion. We're going to slice it lengthwise, and then we're going to turn it and chop it up and get a small dice just like the red pepper. Another ingredient we're going to throw into our stir fry is some Thai basil. So I just pulled it off the stems and had it prepped and ready to go. Next, we're going to get into all the sauces that will be going into our fried rice. I have some dark soy sauce, some low sodium soy sauce. I have this spice mixture, and if you can't find this specific mixture, you're going to need about 1 teaspoon curry powder, a teaspoon turmeric, and a teaspoon mustard powder, some rice wine vinegar. And if you like it a little spicy, you can throw in some chili garlic sauce. And then also some sesame oil while we're cooking. We're going to start off by throwing some avocado oil in our pan while it's nice and hot. And we'll throw in 2 lightly scrambled eggs. We'll scramble those up real quick. I'm actually going to take them out of the pan and put them to the side for now. We're going to oil up our pan again and throw in our onions. red peppers, and green onions. Toss those around for a little bit and let them sweat. I forgot to mention earlier, I also grated up 2 cloves of garlic to throw in there, so you can throw that in as well. While these were cooking on their own, I threw a little bit of that curry powder in there to start developing some flavor. Next up, we're going to throw in about half of our pineapple. Start sauteing that around with everything. And then next we throw in our rice. You give everything a good mix before you start adding your sauces. We're going to start off with some sesame oil, probably about a teaspoon. Spread that around a little bit. Next, we're going to add the rest of our sauces. I started with some chili garlic paste, just a little bit, but you can add more for your taste. This is pretty spicy, so it will spice up the dish if you add more of it. Then some light soy sauce, probably about 2 tablespoons. And then about 1 tablespoon of the dark soy. It's going to give it a nice dark color. And then just a splash of the rice wine vinegar. Mix everything up real good. And now we're going to add the bulk of our spice mixture. I probably added about a tablespoon total, but a teaspoon of each of those spices I mentioned earlier will work great. This is going to give your rice a nice yellow-orange color that you typically see with your Thai fried rice. Next, we're throwing in our Thai basil. Let that get sauteed a bit. And the rest of our pineapple. I also forgot to mention earlier, while I was cooking, I left my eggs to the side for too long. You can actually add those in right before you throw in all the sauces, but I threw it in on the end and it all worked out fine. As you can see, everything is nicely fried up and incorporated, and I just threw into these pineapples for better presentation. Garnish with the top of those green onions once you get your rice into the bowls. One last thing to finish, I chopped up some cashews and I threw those right on top. You can definitely add more than I did. They add a great crunch to the rice. Well, there's my Thai pineapple fried rice. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Sweet.